Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show into all the apps people like to listen to? How do we make money from this podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me, the She Plays team, and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
Welcome to She Plays, the podcast, where we talk about it all.
Sports, fun, equality,
and everything awesome that happens when she plays.
I'm Stephanie Lane.
I'm Joy Crook.
I'm Ashley Hart.
And we're so glad you're here.
We are three best friends from college
who believe in women's empowerment and equality in sport.
In this podcast, we'll talk with the athletes who inspire us with their excellence and passion.
And give you an inside look at their real lives.
We'll keep you updated on the latest news from professional sports leagues in the United States.
And big events happening around the world.
Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome back to the She Plays podcast. We're excited to have you join us again. Today we're going to dig a little bit more into why we're doing fantasy sports on She Plays and just some more, some funny moments from when we were playing sports, just some memories that we're bringing up. So I'd love to just start with a little bit more explanation of why we're doing fantasy sports. And part of it is because they don't exist. That's just really fun to be a part of doing something that is new. But also for me, Ashley, personally, I love playing fantasy sports. I love getting to do that with my family and all the trash talk that comes with that. And it just makes you feel connected to family. And so I love doing that with the football is what we've done in the past and brackets for NCAA. But man, do I love watching women's soccer and I love the WNBA. And so it kind of was frustrating that there was nowhere really to play fantasy sports for those leagues or, and certainly some of the leagues that we're trying to host are the NWHL, CWHL, the National Pro Fast Pitch League. And so some of these leagues that have never had fantasy at all. And so it's just exciting to think about like the conversations of, no, I'm going to take Alex Morgan and like, no, you're going to take Marta. It's just fun to think about these people that I know and admire. And it's going to be fun to get to, rib my family about some of them. So, but we do think, there's data that shows that fantasy sports help grow the sport itself. And so that is something that we were strategically thinking through too, of like, how can we give back? How can we be a part of the movement of growing sports in the women's leagues? And so the fact that this didn't exist and it's proven to help grow the sport, we were like, well, let's do that. Like, let's help bring maybe people who don't watch but love to play fantasy sports. Let's bring them into the women's world and people who want other ways to be involved with the team that they love. Let's just have them looking up news and stats and all that stuff. So, so to me, that's why fantasy sports. You guys have any opinions on that?
I mean, nothing much to add. Just, I've played pretty limited fantasy sports in my day. I think, March Madness, a lot of years, maybe with groups of colleagues or from church. And then, once in a while, some other tournament challenge. But I think one thing that's fun is that, with coworkers, like maybe I don't have a ton in common with, but when we get in that bracket season or whatever it is, like there's something to talk about because we're following more closely. And like Ash said, we kind of get, it really also like deepens relationships with the people that you're playing fantasy with. And so that's something that I'm kind of excited about, seeing how that can be done with these leagues that haven't been represented with women's sports, and hopefully, helping us continue to both build and facilitate folks building relationships like through playing fantasy, because I think that's a big part of it.
Super. Well, so what are we most excited about as She Plays gets ready to launch? We're launching the Kickstarter same time as this episode's going out, but we're hoping to really launch our website in full development in time for the World Cup. So what are you guys excited about as She Plays gets going?
Obviously.
Hobby. Hashtag follow us.
Hashtag subscribe and give us a great review. Yeah, I'll jump in. I think one of the most exciting things about launching right now is truly the Women's World Cup, which starts in June. And, our women's team, our national women's team is just amazing. No offense to our men's national team, but our women's national team is way better on a global scale. Like our women's team is amazing, and it's just really exciting to think about on a global scale just how impressive they are. And so just to be able to have this platform where you can connect with friends and family and just all dive into our team's success is just really exciting. And I think just a really cool impetus to get to step out and do this.
Yeah,
well said.
Yeah, they're really awesome. And I know, She Plays right now is mostly going to be about U.S. sports. Hopefully soon to be larger. But I think it's pretty exciting too, just thinking about for the World Cup. I mean, the U.S. women's team is amazing, but if you look at other countries, their women's teams are also like in a lot of instances, just they dominate. They're so impressive to watch. So I think we'll get to see a lot of really great competition this summer and get to follow along by playing on She Plays. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a super competitive. I mean, it's always super competitive, but I just think teams have grown so much around the world. Like Australia, I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Sam Kerr is just amazing. Yes, I'm just excited to get to see another avenue for women's sports be out there. They just sold out the final for the World Cup. In 31 minutes, 57,000 tickets in 31 minutes. And it's just really exciting to think that we could help facilitate another way to get excited about that. We're just really excited to see people get involved and invest in watching these women. So very excited for the World Cup.
Yeah, and for all the people who are like already planning to watch, like we're actually helping to provide something fun for them to do. It's not, you don't just have to tune into every game, but you can actually participate. And the fact that it doesn't exist right now, I think it's a huge, huge ad.
Yeah. If your bracket wins, we're giving you money. What? That's fun.
No risk. Just play on She Plays.
Yeah. Free bracket challenge. But if you win, you get some moolah.
And something I know for folks listening to this, whenever you happen to be listening, you may know a little, you may know a lot about She Plays, but I think one of the things that's been really fun for all of us the past, several weeks and months and this upcoming month as well is just getting to share the vision and share She Plays with, friends, families, acquaintances, and, just folks that might not know about some of the issues behind She Plays and the opportunity that we have to be a part of this and that you have to be a part of this. So definitely, we're looking forward to talking to more about it and to more people about it. And if you don't know us on a personal level, we'd love to talk to you about it too. So please feel free to reach out. This is new and exciting, and we're excited to help get other people excited about it too.
Absolutely. I had a question that isn't in our pre-notes, but here we go. I'm a huge movie fan. And so pretty much anytime I hear something, 8 times out of 10, I'm like, oh, that's relates to this movie. So I was thinking in what movies do you guys remember growing up? Were there any movies that you saw women's sports and it just like fired you up?
I'm going to make a confession, y'all. I still have not seen Bend It Like Beckham. So if that's the one we're going for, I still need to watch it. But that's probably one that is relevant here.
Well, so what made me think about this, Steph, is when you were talking about playing ice hockey, and I was like, immediately went Mighty Ducks. And that one girl.
Totally, the cat Gaffney.
Right? Is that her name?
Yes, I was just thinking about her.
Yeah. I remember thinking like, what?
Yes.
What a woman, you know? Like, she's playing with all these boys and she's kicking butt. It was just really, for me, I think that was one of the first times I saw a girl be on the same level. You know, because growing up, I did hear, oh, you play ball like a girl. And it was a put down, you know? And I mean, even in The Sandlot, which I love that movie, but like that's the big insult of when they're throwing insults around. And to see her earn her spot and kind of bring the competition, I just remember being like, dang, if she can do that, I can do something like that.
One of the like iconic movies I think of is it's not very iconic actually. It's called The Little Giants.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that? Okay. Well, there was a girl and and she played on like this little league football team and she was awesome. So I remember that. I remember the movie actually had some like interesting messages though about her that really left an imprint on me. Like there was this scene where she liked the boy, Devon Sawa, yes, and he liked this other little cheerleader girl, or it seemed like that. And I just remember there was this like scene where she, you know, was kind of trying to like battle being good at sports and like wanting to be feminine and wanting this guy to love her. And it was just like, I don't know what the message was. I think in the end it turned out okay, but I feel like it was the first time where they put like, you have to choose out there. Like, are you going to be feminine or are you going to be good at sports? And I think in the end she realized that, you know, she was going to be who she was going to be, and that was generally a little bit more sporty. But I just feel like Hollywood, man, so early they start to put that in kids' heads that, you know, you have to choose, or you can't have both, or you can't be feminine and strong. And that just really left an imprint on me as a kid of like, ooh, and I think are boys not going to like you if you're strong?
Define,
you know,
femininity as something of like delicate, like delicacy or not being.
Because I remember that scene so vividly. Like she gets a cheerleader outfit. She gets a cheerleader outfit and she puts it on and like puts makeup on. And her parents are like, "What are you doing?"
And her dad's like, "Are you wearing makeup?" And she's like, "No, I had a Tootsie Pop." I like cannot get that scene.
It was because you know that's so traumatic. You know that's not what she loved, and it's truly only for the purpose of impressing this boy. Which in that moment in time, we are all looking for the way to impress that boy. Like. That is like a priority for us when you're that age. And so it's like this choice and this conflict. And at the end, I do remember at the end, she goes back to the game and I'm pretty certain she gets the boy. I'm pretty sure she and Devon Sawa like have some awkward middle school, you know, love exchange at the very end. But I agree with you, Joy. Like the moment is like even just that's a question, that's a conflict. They bring it up. It was, that was.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten something about that, but a little traumatic. Yeah, that was.
Wow, that question went deeper than I thought it would, but I liked it.
I know when you said like pump you up, I was like, oh gosh, Hollywood does a good job of doing the opposite. I feel like.
Well, that's like, true. Yeah, I think just seeing just seeing them on the screen in general, I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do like, we've talked about this in two movies now, in Mighty Ducks and in Little Giants. And I was thinking The Big Green, which was not even as good, but I loved because it was soccer. It was
Ladybugs. And
Ladybugs. Well, I do like that, you know, when you're kid, and even in real life, when you're kids, boys and girls play sports together generally, right? Like there's for a long time that's how it is. And then, you know, at some point teams become separate for not bad reasons. But I think that, you know, as we're talking about difference and inequalities, like, you know, that's a time to look like at some point we were all equal, all playing on the same teams, all enjoying the same competition. And then like, what happens between then and now, you know, to create these like big chasms. So I know we'll talk more about that, but it's interesting thinking like in all those movies, like it's, you know, like same teams and you do see dynamics, good and bad, but you know, anyways.
Wow. Love it. Love the discussion.
That's a good question, Ash.
As we are going to wrap up the second episode, so real quick, let's go through a funny moment we each remember from playing sports, like when we were playing sports. real quick question. Did anyone try to shoot on the wrong basket? I know I did that once.
I'm sure.
Oh my gosh, I thought of that. I mean, I just remember that happening so many times. And just like, there's a moment when you're like so sad, but it's also so funny, you know, like you just can't even be mad at the teammate because it's like, I mean, what the hell? Like,
It was me though, and it was in high school. Whoops. Okay.
It was in high school. Oh no.
Okay.
It happened once. It happened once. I'll admit it.
Oh my gosh.
Anyone else have a funny moment?
Yeah, mine's pre-high school. Y'all, they made me play t-ball when I was little, and let me just say, baseball, I respect people who are good at it because I am just so not good. Like the other day, this is a tangent story, my little 2-year-old wanted me to try to throw up a ball and hit it with this little bat thing into like this huge soccer net in our playroom. I missed. I literally was 3 feet away and I missed. And he brings the ball back to me and goes, "No, mommy, in the net." And I was like, I know. But all I say, I played t-ball when I was little, and the funny / not funny for me at the time moment was I got out almost every time because I would like hit it so as hard as I could and then backswing and throw that bat back. And we were not allowed to do that, but for the life of me, I could not hang on to the darn bat after like giving it a good swing and hitting a ball. So like almost every time at bat for like maybe 2 or 3 games straight, I would just get out because I had thrown the bat. I couldn't even go. And it was fun. I think it was funny to everyone else but me at the time, and now it's funny to me too.
Yeah, one of the sports that I tried was swim team, and I can swim generally, but like there's something about other people being in the water and like everyone swimming like a foot away from one another that creates a lot of like waves. And I just remember like swallowing water and like hanging on to the side and like could not do it. And I like hated it so much. I like got out of the pool and I was like, I'm not doing it.
Put your goggles down. I'm done.
Yeah. I was like, I think I went with some friends and I was like, sure, I'll try swim team. Like I can swim. But like I could swim like at the bottom of the pool. So yeah, swim team was a big fail, but looking back, it probably was pretty hilarious to anyone watching.
Oh, well, we'd love to hear your funny memories from playing sports growing up. So please comment and get back to us on
social too.
Twitter or Instagram. Yeah, we'd love to have this thing be interactive. So share some funny memories that you had from playing sports growing up, and we will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.